Okay, we're ready to get started. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Such an important issue that demands the attention of all New Yorkers, of all Americans, of people all over the globe. This is a fundamental matter of human rights and human decency. I want to thank everyone who's standing with me today. I want to thank everyone gathered here in this important place in our city, a city that speaks to the fight for justice and is one of the touchstones of our memory of what it is to call out injustice. And so this is a fitting place for us to gather. It is a deeply troubling moment in the Dominican Republic. The government is fundamentally undermining the rights of the people of not just the Dominican Republic, the people of Haiti, the people of that island they share, and defying our common sense of humanity. This is an affront to our values, our shared values as human beings. In the coming months, hundreds of thousands of Dominicans of Haitian descent could be torn from their home, torn from everything they know, forced across the border into Haiti. And for so many of these people, the Dominican Republic is the place they have known as home, not just in this generation, in many cases for several generations. This is an affront on so many levels, and it's inhumane on so many levels. It is clearly an illegal act, it is an immoral act, it is a racist act by the Dominican government. And it's happening because these people are black, and it cannot be accepted. I call on the government of the Dominican Republic to cease these expulsions immediately, to end the detentions of innocent people, and to stop the cultivation of fear. We have to see this policy as fear-mongering on a grand scale by a government. We've seen that before in history. We have to call it out and stop it every time we see it. We know how horrific the results have been in the past when this type of fear-mongering goes unchecked. The Dominican government must restore the fundamental rights of citizenship and all other fundamental rights to Dominicans of Haitian descent. This is an issue that has united New Yorkers. It has united people of all backgrounds. It has united people from the Dominican community and the Haitian community alike. I want to talk about some of the people gathered here with me and thank them. But first, I want to thank Malak Shabazz for allowing us this opportunity to be in this wonderful and powerful space. We had a few minutes to talk before, and I've been an admirer of yours and your family for a long time. And as I said, your father's work for so many of us was a guiding light in terms of understanding how we should act in our society and how we should call out injustice. And we thank you and your entire family. Thank you. I want to thank the members of my administration who are here, and I want to say on a personal note, they are here as governmental leaders, but they are here because this touches them personally as well, every one of them, either because they have a connection to the two countries involved or because they, through their own experience, understand the pain of what violations of human rights have meant to people over the generations. So I want to thank Commissioner Rose Pierre Louis, our Commissioner for the Mayor's Office to Combat Domestic Violence, Lizette Camillo, our Commissioner for the Mayor's Office for Contract Services, Gary Rodney, the Director of the Housing Development Corporation. I want to thank Marco Carrion, our Commissioner for Community Affairs, Penny Abiwardena, our Commissioner for International Affairs. And if I've missed any of our commissioners, please let me know. I want to thank the elected officials who have joined us, State Senator Jose Peralta, Assemblymember Rodneyce Bichot, Councilmember Idanis Rodriguez. I want to thank the great community leader, Dr. Rafael Lantigua, who I have known for now a quarter century and appreciate his guidance and his commitment to the community. I want to thank all the other activists. Councilmember Rafael Espinal, thank you so much for being here. All the other activists who are here from organizations that fight for human rights, that fight to make sure there's a single standard of decency. I want to thank my old friend Estela Vasquez of 1199 SEIU, one of the great institutions in this city that fights for human rights for all. I want to thank Councilmember Matthew Eugene of Brooklyn. I also am very touched by the presence of the great Haitian-American author Edwidge Danticat, who makes this city her home. Edwidge, please stand. Where are you? Thank you so much. We applaud you and we thank you. One of the great, and I don't know how you classify yourself, but I will classify you as one of the great young writers in this nation and one of the great interpreters of the Haitian experience and the Haitian-American experience. And we thank you for speaking out on this issue. So many people are here in solidarity, feeling the pain of events so close by. In geographical terms and in cultural terms, our connection to an island that the Dominican Republic and Haiti shares, our connection is tremendously deep in this city. We feel those actions there as if they are happening here. You know, there's over 400,000 New Yorkers who were born in the Dominican Republic, and over 100,000 New Yorkers who were born in Haiti. So this hits home powerfully for us. And it's so important to say, as we must say in so many circumstances in the globe, our opposition today is to the policies of the Dominican Republic, to that government's policies, not to the people of the Dominican Republic who we hold so dear, who are our neighbors in every sense and who are such a core part of the life of this city. But this would not be the first time, brothers and sisters, that we have seen a good people have a government that made many mistakes and made decisions that didn't reflect the values of the people as a whole. There are a lot of people right now in the Dominican Republic who are afraid, who feel powerless, who feel unable to speak for themselves. It is our job to speak for Dominicans of Haitian descent. It is our job to stand up for them and to encourage those all over the globe to do the same. There has been an outcry from the international community, and for those who have not yet weighed in, the time is now. Leaders all over the world need to speak at this moment. People are being targeted simply because of their skin color and who they are, and it has to end. And remember, for many people, this is about a heritage that the last time a member of their family lived in Haiti was 1 or 2 generations ago. That's how pernicious this policy is. There is a danger that as many as 200,000 people could be expelled, and it has to stop now. When something like this happens and goes unchecked, it's like a cancer that spreads to other places. That's why it is so important to remember an injustice anywhere cultivates further injustice. That's why such a broad coalition has stood together. And it's my belief that governments that would take such an action are vulnerable to the powerful rebuke of the international community. The Dominican government must understand that they are being watched by people all over the world right now. Their deplorable actions are visible for all to see, and there will be such horrible ramifications if they don't stop now. We pray that this mistake will be corrected right now as an example to the world of the fact that we will stand in the way of any injustice, and we will move to a community of equality and justice for all, which we commit ourselves to every day here in this city. A few sentences in Spanish. Me preocupa mucho el tratamiento que el gobierno dominicano está dándoles a miles de dominicanos de ascendencia haitiana. Sus acciones representan una violación de derechos humanos fundamentales. Los dominicanos de ascendencia haitiana merecen tener los mismos derechos a educación, atención médica, empleos y libertades que tienen todos los demás dominicanos. Quiero dejar en claro que nuestra oposición hoy no es contra el pueblo dominicano, sino contra políticas del gobierno dominicano. Hago un llamado al gobierno dominicano para que asegure de inmediato estos derechos a todos los dominicanos de ascendencia haitiana. With that, I want to introduce two speakers that represent together the unity of purpose that we feel here today. First, Celso Perez. He is a fellow in global justice at Human Rights Watch. He is proudly of Dominican heritage. He has been a leading researcher on the issue that we are confronting right now and an advocate on this issue, and he's about to publish a very powerful report making clear to the world what is happening in the Dominican Republic. He understands just how many people's lives are at risk because of flawed actions of the government and the legal system. We welcome Celso Perez. You can clap for him.
Good afternoon. As the mayor said, my name is Celso Perez. I am a researcher with Human Rights Watch. Although I don't look it, I am originally Dominican. My parents and grandparents are of Spanish descent, but I was born and raised there, and I now live and work in New York. For the past year or so, I've been researching the human rights conditions of Dominicans of Haitian descent and Haitian migrants in the Dominican Republic, and as the mayor said, this will be published in a forthcoming Human Rights Watch report. Today I've been asked to provide a basic background of the situation, some context for what is currently happening on the ground, and finally our key recommendations to different governments, including the Dominican government, on this situation. First, in terms of background, as many of you probably know, in 2013, the Dominican Constitutional Tribunal issued a decision that effectively denationalized or stripped citizenship and nationality from a number of Dominicans of Haitian descent whose parents had been undocumented. These estimates range between 100,000 and 200,000 people that were affected by this decision. In 2014, there was a law passed by the Dominican government to try and remedy this situation and give these people back their nationality. Our research shows, and I will go into this in a little more depth, that ultimately this law was not successful and these people have not been able to effectively practice their right to a nationality. Additionally, to further complicate matters, the government has also been instituting a regularization plan to give regular migratory status to Haitian migrants in the country. So essentially two groups of people that we are, that are affected. On the one hand, Dominicans of Haitian descent, on the other hand, Haitian migrants, so Haitian citizens living in the Dominican Republic. In terms of our research, it was focused mainly on Dominicans of Haitian descent, and the basic research question we asked was, have these people been effectively restored their nationality? Are they able to practice that nationality today? We find that the answer is no. Of those 100,000 to 200,000 people that were affected by the 2013 decision, a number of them had papers already, meaning they had birth certificates, they had Dominican passports. In some cases, they also had national IDs. These people, despite having these documents, are unable to do basic transactions such as register children, go to school, travel within the country without fear of being removed from the country. Additionally, a number of Dominicans of Haitian descent were also given the opportunity to register, people who had a claim to Dominican nationality but did not have papers. There was a very brief 6-month window for registration, and due to a combination of factors, including lack of government commitment to this question, these people were effectively left out of the process and now have no way to access their Dominican nationality. On top of this, our research found that deportations, as the mayor said, have been conducted mainly on the basis of appearance. So people that, quote unquote, look Haitian are targeted for deportation and expulsion from the country. Oftentimes, people are not asked for nationality documents, so they have no way of proving that they are in fact Dominican and they have a right to stay in the country. And in fact, we have documented cases of Dominicans of Haitian descent with birth certificates, with national ID cards, who have been detained and in some cases even deported to Haiti. In terms of our key recommendations to the Dominican government, I think first and foremost to recognize that there was an effort in 2014 to restore the nationality to these people, but Dominicans of Haitian descent today can still not practice their right to a Dominican nationality. Therefore, we call on the Dominican government to effectively restore the nationality of all persons who were in 2013 arbitrarily deprived of their nationality. We also call on the government to implement deportation protocols that conform to international standards and that are conducted on an individualized basis, and there's a verification of the individual person's identification in this process. Finally, we also call on the international community to help oversee and monitor this process, both in terms of giving people back their nationality and in terms of the deportations that are conducted. Thank you very much.
Would you like to summarize in Spanish?
Oh, sure. So the mayor has asked me for a quick summary in Spanish, entonces cambio al español. Como comenté, soy un investigador para Human Rights Watch, una organización internacional de derechos humanos. Soy originalmente dominicano, nacido y criado en Santo Domingo. Por el último año así yo he estado investigando la situación de dominicanos de ascendencia haitiana, inmigrantes haitianos en el país. Nuestra investigación demuestra que un número de 100,000 a 200,000 personas fueron desnacionalizadas en el 2013. Es decir, estas personas se les quitó de una manera arbitraria su nacionalidad dominicana, la mayoría de ellas personas de ascendencia haitiana. En el 2014 hubo un esfuerzo por parte del gobierno para tratar de devolverle la nacionalidad a estas personas, pero nuestra investigación concluye que, a fin de cuentas, este esfuerzo no ha tenido éxito. Aún hoy en día hay miles de personas que se ven afectadas por esta situación, habiendo nacido en la República Dominicana, no tienen acceso a su nacionalidad dominicana. Es decir, en algunos casos estas personas tienen documentos, tienen una cédula de identidad dominicana, tienen un acta de nacimiento dominicana, pero no pueden llevar a cabo transacciones básicas como lo es registrar a un niño cuando nace, como lo es ir a la escuela, como lo es viajar dentro del país sin riesgo a ser expulsado o expulsada. Nuestra investigación concluyó que si bien hubo un esfuerzo por parte del gobierno dominicano en el 2014, un esfuerzo que reconocemos que fue algo meritorio de parte del gobierno, a fin de cuentas el país sigue en un estado de violación de sus obligaciones de los derechos humanos. Por lo tanto, recomendamos al gobierno que devuelva de manera efectiva la nacionalidad a todas las personas afectadas por la decisión de 2013 y que además implemente protocolos de deportación que reconozcan los casos en una manera individualizada y que verifiquen la identidad de las personas antes de ser expulsadas o deportadas del país. Muchas gracias.
Again, I want to note the outstanding representation here from leaders of both the Dominican American community and the Haitian American community here in this city, united in common cause and calling for the Dominican government to stop this immoral act. I want to welcome and acknowledge and thank Councilmember Antonio Reynoso for joining us. Thank you very much. Our last speaker, as I mentioned, we were going to have two speakers representing each community and both experts on the challenges at hand. Ralph DeLuis is board chairman of the Haitian American Lawyers Association of New York And that association has been in the forefront of advocacy on this issue, both here and in the Dominican Republic. We welcome Ralph De Louis.
Hi, good afternoon. As the mayor mentioned, I'm chair of the board of directors for the Haitian American Lawyers Association of New York, also known as HALANI. And we are very excited that the mayor is bringing us together today as a city to raise awareness and take a stand on a very important issue. Being recognized by a state is a fundamental right that should be afforded to every human being. Stripping away the citizenship of those born in the Dominican Republic has left over 200,000 people without a recognized country to call their own. People without state recognition are vulnerable, invisible, and have no protection under international law. They lack basic human rights and physical security. As New Yorkers, we have a long history of advocacy on matters of social justice, human rights, and civil rights. Mass deportations and expulsions of Dominicans of Haitian descent will only exacerbate the humanitarian crisis that is already in place. The Haitian American Lawyers Association of New York joins with the mayor in calling on the Dominican government to return citizenship to all from whom it was taken and to cease all deportations. To the extent that any deportations are to take place, we ask that they are done in accordance with international law and due process. The Haitian American Lawyers Association is grateful to the mayor for bringing this important issue to light. We are also grateful to all those organizations that have worked closely with us on this issue, as well as all those individuals who have spoken out on this issue, especially Assemblywoman Rodney's Pichot, with whom we work closely to have Resolution K376 passed before the State Assembly. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take questions from the media on this topic first, and then I'll take some on topic after. First on this topic. Yes, Emily.
Hi, Mayor. An international rebuke, of course, would be effective, but are you looking at any sort of economic sanctions or boycotting, anything that would be a little stronger armed?
I think the rebuke is extraordinary and is happening from all over the world. Obviously, the United Nations is involved as well. And I believe the Dominican government literally has a matter of days to change course before you'll start to see other consequences. It's unimaginable to me that a lot of Americans, for example, are going to want to travel to the Dominican Republic if this issue is unresolved. And it's unimaginable that people are going to want to have conferences and conventions, and that a lot of us who normally would be working closely with the Dominican government will feel comfortable doing so in this atmosphere. So my hope is that with these strong voices from around the world, we'll see change quickly. Otherwise, I think that will be the time to talk about other consequences, and I think some of them will just start to happen very naturally. On this topic, going once, going twice. Okay, and I would urge our friends in the media to spend time with these leaders and experts afterwards. I think it'd be very important to hear from them directly. Anything off topic from our friends in the media? Anything off topic? Media questions? Yes, sir.
I'm here in New York. Today, if I use this discrimination for my job. So each time I try to get a lawyer.
Sir, I'm sorry, are you a member of the media? Are you from the news media? Say again? No, sir, news media. We'll happily talk to you right after. Let's just finish the press conference first. News media question, yes.
Mayor Blasio, City Council will investigate Commissioner Bratton's practice of granting Police Foundation contracts to his associates. Should consultants paid through the Police Foundation be required to make financial disclosures of outside business interests?
It's an independent foundation. I think the standard's obviously different than that for government. Yes, Emily.
Two issues, if you don't mind, just to get a fresh comment from you.
Please.
The first is a lot of people are gathering in churches nationwide to think and to pray on Charleston. Has it been obviously in your thoughts this morning?
Absolutely. And I watched the part of the church service from Emmanuel in Charleston earlier this morning, which was very, very powerful. Look, again, this was an act of domestic terror. There's no question about it. It was a terrorist attack. It was a racist attack. We need to recognize how much the stain of racism is alive in this country right now and how structural it still is, and we have to address it. I also said yesterday when I spoke with the leaders and members of the AME community in Queens, and we had a gathering to talk about the impact this has had on all of us, but particular solidarity we were all showing with the AME community. This is also a moment where we have to change our laws related to guns. This attack was facilitated by the easy availability of guns in this country. And it is like so many other horrible attacks, whether they were terrorism or racially motivated, or whether they are the other kinds of things we've seen so frequently, the campus shootings, which have become strangely a norm in this country. Also based on the easy availability of guns. It's time for Washington to act, and inaction by Washington now, after we already saw inaction after Newtown, I think will bring the rebuke of the American people. And there's a serious question of mental health here too. We cannot separate these pieces. We have to have the ability to say that an act of terror and an act of racism also connects to the problem of guns, also connects to the fact that we are not seriously addressing mental health issues in this country. It's a time of tremendous reflection, and I hope that turns very quickly into action. Please.
On Albany and rent regulations, there's a 5-day extension of the laws as they are. Do you anticipate something will be resolved early this week, maybe tomorrow?
I learned long ago not to anticipate the actions of Albany, but I would say, no disrespect to my good brothers and sisters who serve in Albany here and have been such great voices for getting things done. But look, the people of this city are demanding action. Certainly, I think people all over the state are demanding action, but for the issues affecting us, the need to extend and strengthen rent regulation, the need to continue mayoral control education. I keep saying, look at the magnitude. Over 2 million New Yorkers affected by rent regulation, over 1.2 million school children, and then many, many more family members, millions of family members affected by mayoral control education. These things require action now. And obviously, this is the week, this upcoming week is the time to get this done and get things finished.
Following up on that, you've said that a straight extension of rent laws is not
I'm sorry.
enough. You've said that a straight extension of rent laws is not enough and that it needs to be strengthened. It looks like the Assembly now, although they previously backed that position, has introduced a 2-year straight extender. Would you be willing to support that, or do you think it's...
Okay, I believe in the need for seriously improving and strengthening our rent laws. We've lost several 100,000 affordable units out of rent regulation, out of Mitchell-Lama over the last 2 decades. I think we must strengthen our rent laws. I think what's happening in Albany right now is a series of maneuvers inside the Capitol, different things being done to try and get to an outcome. I'm not going to comment on any one of those actions that are clearly tactical. I know what the goal needs to be. The goal needs to be a strengthening of our rent regulations. Media question. Media, brother? Media? Yes. Yes, sir.
Estamos realizando
All right, I'm going to need Idanis. You're going to come and be my translator. My guest translator, Idanis Rodriguez.
Estamos realizando este evento en el distrito 10 y me gustaría conocer precisamente de boca de Idanis si dentro del plan de regularización que se culminó en la República Dominicana, las iniciativas del gobierno dominicano para enfrentar el caso haitiano, ¿es suficiente? ¿Qué se está haciendo?
Okay, go ahead. What was the overall question?
It's about what is the government doing to regulate the presence of Haitians in the area.
To address this issue. I don't have those facts. So Celso, or do you want to speak to it?
I can say it.
Okay, Celso and Idanis will speak. Did you hear the question? Yeah.
¿Me la repite, por favor? ¿Me repite la pregunta?
Dije que si la iniciativa tomada por el gobierno dominicano dentro del proceso de regularización, en el caso específico de los haitianos, ¿es suficiente? ¿Qué está haciendo concretamente para este grupo étnico allá en el país?
Bien. Yo entiendo...
English then Spanish.
English, okay.
Or Spanish then English. Spanish then English.
Ok, en español primero.
Me gusta en español.
Perfecto. Como dije antes, soy investigador con una organización internacional de derechos humanos, nacido y criado en Santo Domingo. Para responder su pregunta en cuanto a regularización, nosotros entendemos que ha sido una buena iniciativa del gobierno y que ha tomado buenos pasos, pero que a fin de cuentas ha sido insuficiente. Yo he estado allá en el país investigando ahora por unos 6 meses la situación en el país, y tanto con el trato de migrantes como con dominicanos de ascendencia haitiana, entendemos que el país todavía está en violación de una serie de normas de derechos humanos y de derecho internacional. Now in English. The question was, what do you understand that the regularization plan that has been carried out to regularize the status of Haitian migrants has been sufficient? My answer was, I understand that this process, though a step in the right direction, is ultimately insufficient for the Dominican government to comply with its obligations under international law and international human rights law.
Thank you.
Algo que nosotros tenemos que señalar es que el presidente Danilo Medina es el primer presidente en República Dominicana que toma iniciativa para regularizar la presencia de los haitianos en República Dominicana. El primer presidente que toma la iniciativa para regularizar el estatus legal de nuestras hermanas y hermanos dominicanos en nuestro país. Cuando se toma la decisión de la Corte, no es una decisión del presidente. El presidente heredó la decisión. Sin embargo, para este momento, cuando se cierra el deadline, cerca de 300,000 personas llenaron su formulario para regularizarse. Queda mucho trabajo por hacer. El gobierno lo reconoce la comunidad internacional que han estado presentes en República Dominicana, que tanto el gobierno dominicano como el gobierno haitiano tienen que trabajar proveyendo todos los documentos que necesitan las personas que llenaron la aplicación. La otra cosa que yo quiero señalar es lo siguiente. Primeramente, aplaudo al alcalde por su liderazgo en lo que tiene que ver con la agenda progresista, con lo que tiene que ver con una agenda con derechos humanos. Hemos hecho muchas cosas, falta mucho por hacer. Es importante lo que él ha presentado, pero también hay que aprovechar para llamar a la comunidad internacional, que tiene un fondo de cerca de $3 billones que fueron recaudados para invertirse en Haití y no lo ha invertido, y tienen una promesa de cerca de 20 billones más. So today I just want to be clear that, first of all, I applaud the mayor for his leadership, and as someone born and raised in this issue, I understand. And I know that there's a lot of work that we got to do. But what I say, that President Danilo Medina, who inherited that decision of the court, is the first president in the Dominican Republic that created a path to regulate the citizenship of the Haitian presence in DR. Also, by the day of the deadline of the court, close to 300 people undocumented fill out the form. There's 45 days that they had to complete bringing all the documents. Both the president of the Dominican Republic, the president of Haiti, and the international community, they have a lot of work to do to be sure that those 300 and others who are undocumented get the support they need to fix the status. But I also wanted to take advantage to call on the international community, the European community and the United States of America, to invest the $3 billion that they have in their hand, that they raised it to invest it in Haiti, and they haven't done it. And they had a commitment of close to $20 billion. So I saw that working together, we provide the support and solidarity to the brothers and sisters in Haiti, but also calling the international community to do their part too. Thank you.
All right, hold on. I'm going to give one more chance to the media. Yes? Hold on, everyone. Hold on. Go ahead.
Looks like Donald Trump is the only New York City resident who won the presidential race at this point. I'm wondering what you think, how he represents the city.
Okay.
I don't think he does. I don't think he represents the values of the vast majority of New Yorkers. And as I said the other day, I'm not going to talk about the details of the Republican field. I think whoever they produce for the general election will not represent the values not only of this place, but I suspect will not represent the values of the American people either. Okay, last call, going once.
To deal with the Haitian issue, are there any figures that show how many people have actually been registered officially? And how do they intend to transport those people, if such, and to where?
Ralph Celso. Okay. Which one?
Sure. So just to clarify, there are two processes going on, and I can say it in Spanish later. So there's a regularization process. This process is for Haitian migrants, people born in Haiti who emigrate to the DR. As of the latest numbers I saw this week, I think June 16th, June 17th, the government numbers were that there were 288,000 people who had registered under this. This means people submitted applications. It's unclear whether those applications will be accepted or denied. There's a 45-day grace period for those applications to be reviewed. That's one thing. The other issue, and this is, I think, what we understand is very much more clearly a violation of international law in a lot of ways, is the issue of Dominicans of Haitian descent. These are people that were born in the Dominican Republic. They have Dominican citizenship because they were born under a constitution that says that if you're born in the Dominican Republic, you get citizenship and nationality. And these people in 2013, they were arbitrarily denied that nationality. There was a program in place to register these people, many who hadn't been registered. Out of a universe of, according to the government, a universe of 53,000, only 8,000 were able to register in that process. So, you know, what's that, 20%, maybe less than 20%? I can't. And these people are now also at risk of not deportation, but really expulsion, because these are people that are Dominican, should be able to stay in the Dominican Republic.
Thank you. All right,